Hello everyone! Welcome to the third video on this channel. My name is Ivan and this is my career stories channel, and I'm really happy to see you here. So if you remember, last time we talked about top 3 things for a successful career. If you haven't seen that video, I suggest watching it first, because while making that video I kind of realized that actually it could be a good idea to come up with the same list, but this time for a successful job search. Because searching for a job and already having one are kind of different beasts, and they require different aspects. However, some things are still the same. Like in the previous video, I'm sure that many of you will have slightly different opinions about what is really important for success. What's happening? Like in the previous video, I'm sure that many of you will have slightly different opinions, and that's okay. That's why I invite you to have a discussion with me right now, so that we will kind of help one another better understand what really matters in this aspect. So let's get started, and here's my top 3 list. The first aspect is job hunting skills. This is usually where your career journey begins. Like it or not, but you have to have the skills and master them, because without them, it's almost impossible and very difficult to get a job, even if you're super skillful, very proficient, and very precious guy from your industry. What's exactly inside this block? Let me explain you. It covers several aspects like CV, which is curriculum vitae. So it's basically your profile on the 1 or 2 pages showing your experience and your resume, the top-down thing. How to explain that CV? Okay, whatever. CV, which is curriculum vitae, motivation letters, the letters that were usually express your interest in searching for a particular kind of job and tell the employer why you are better than some other guys, why you are suitable for this or that particular kind of job. Your LinkedIn page that reflects that you are not just a random guy from nowhere, but a guy who is actively learning and studying and driving the industry forward, and so on and so forth. And also number 4 is your general network, professional network. These are the aspects that will help you have a good impression on the human resources specialist and draw their attention to you, so that you will be invited for a job interview and proceed with the recruitment process. We will talk about each of these aspects in the later videos, but the main takeaway here is that the guys who usually have good CVs, who know how to write good motivation letters, who have interesting LinkedIn profiles, have much better chances of getting a job offer than just the skillful candidates. Sometimes you don't need to be super smart or proficient, but what you really need is to be a good job hunter. And frankly speaking, I'm sure that many of us, including me, are not the best job hunters sometimes in this world. That's why there are so many career schools, platforms, That's why there are so many career platforms, schools, and courses nowadays where people really help with each of these career aspects. I don't say that you shouldn't attend them, no, but perhaps first you should kind of watch some videos on YouTube for free, for example, like here in my channel or some other channel, and then decide whether you need some deeper assistance along the way or not. Number 2, vacancy-related hard skills. I know I've already talked about this in the previous video, and it's not a surprise to you, but it's kind of important to remember that hard skills are both important for job searching and for already having a job. And the problem here is that it's almost impossible to find a good job without showing your hard skills, because your hard skills are very likely to be tested. It can be a homework, it could be online assessment, whatever it is. You just need to be sure that you have industry-related and vacancy-related hard skills, because you need to prove your potential employer that you will be able to cope with the daily tasks and you wouldn't kind of kill all the processes that he has been managing and so on and so forth. I have seen those people who rely absolutely only on job hunting skills without paying much attention to the hard skills that they should possess. And they are for some reason absolutely sure that they will get a dream job offer just with a good CV and motivation letter. And at the same time, I've seen lots of people who have so good hard skills, but they don't even pay attention to coming up with the CV and the motivation letter and so on and so forth, because they are absolutely sure that having good hard skills is just enough for getting a good job offer. I believe both of these strategies are wrong, because you shouldn't ignore hard skills, but at the same time you definitely shouldn't forget about other aspects of a successful job search, like job hunting skills and the thing that I'm going to talk about a little bit later in this video. So it really takes a lot of wisdom to use your capacities in such a way that you would cover all the aspects of a successful job search, not just one. Probably I should have said that in the end of this video, but anyway, I hope you got my point. I'm sure you do. Number 3, your verbal English. You heard me correct, verbal English. Because English language is the most spoken one, in the professional world it's used almost every time when business gets global. And when business gets global, you stand much better chances of having a good job and a better salary. If English language is your mother tongue, lucky you, congratulations, but if not, no worries, you can still learn it yourself. Why verbal English, you might be asking? Well, written language is also important, but there you can use Google Grammarly or some other artificial intelligence application that will help you come up with the very beautiful language so that everybody would feel like you're a super duper English speaker. But when it comes to the verbal language, it pretty much reflects your real language knowledge, and sometimes it shows your industry intelligence. And the thing here is that you can use nothing but your own brain. But the good news is that your English shouldn't be perfectly polished. Just make sure you have fluent speech, and even though you use some simple vocabulary and commit some mistakes on the way, like I do here in these videos. But just a couple of jokes, positive attitude, and combined with the good answers on the interview will make you stand out from the crowd, I can tell you. And the last thing to tell you in this verbal English block is that sometimes when both candidates equally pass some assessment test equally well, it's the communication skills that finally help them win the race. Okay, so these were top 3 things, and right now it's just looking at them from the career searching funnel. So this is the funnel, and so at the very top layer, you will have to use your job hunting skills, which is your CV, motivation letter, LinkedIn profile, and all that stuff that will attract your potential employer's attention exactly to you. Once they have paid attention to you, they will reach out to you, and it's very likely that this is going to be kind of a verbal talk with some of their representatives. So what I'm talking about is that you will very likely use your English verbal skills. This will be kind of a small talk about you, or where you have to introduce yourself, explain why you're searching for a job, what are your career expectations, and blah blah blah. And the next step, one of the hardest ones, is of course technical interviews or some self-assessment tasks, some home tasks, and anything like that. And this is the place where you have to combine your both verbal skills and your hard skills. And this is kind of the very difficult thing, and very difficult part of filtration and separation, segmentation. And if you manage to go through all those career funnel layers, in the end you will be given that exact job offer that you've been looking for. What's next? Right now it's just looking at all those top 3 items through the Euler Diagram perspective, just like we did in the previous video with the successful job career stuff. So again, it's presentation time. Okie doke, let's make it real quick. We've got 3 circles and 3 items: job hunting skills, hard skills, and English verbal skills. If you manage to maintain all those aspects in a good balance, you're most likely to succeed. Nothing new here, right? So let's eliminate the circles one by one and see what happens. Take out the verbal English part, for example. So we have only job hunting skills and hard skills left. The chances of going global here are very low, but on the local market, such candidates can feel very confident still. However, local projects are most of the times less paid, and because your search scope gets really limited to just your current location, you become less flexible. So if something happens on your local market, you won't have access to the international job board, which is not so good as you may guess. Okay, let's see what happens if we take the hard skills part. Without solid knowledge, it's quite difficult to pass sophisticated technical interviews, but sometimes you are required just to show the general knowledge, so you can succeed even without good hard skills. In terms of getting a job offer, it's fine. You can get it and be happy. But ask a question: what happens next? Correct, the testing period. And there you have no choice but demonstrate that you either have hard skills or you don't have hard skills. If you don't, no worries, speed learning is a help. Just learn the basic minimum required for your duties and you'll be fine. Alright, let's delete job hunting skills now. With the hard skills and English verbal skills left, the chances of finding a good job without nice CV, LinkedIn profile, and wide professional network are rather low. Unless you're a well-known specialist with a very good reputation, of course. Usually, when a candidate is really good, he has a wide net of colleagues from previous jobs. So if it's not your CV, it should be your LinkedIn profile that will work for you. If it's not your LinkedIn profile, it will be your friend's recommendation. Something from the job hunting block, I think you're getting the point here. You simply cannot absolutely avoid job hunting skills. So this is it for the diagram. Of course it's just a schema, but I believe it pretty much explains why searching for a job is actually a tedious thing that requires a lot of energy and skills. So this is the third video, it's ready now and you've watched it till the end, so congratulations, we made it together. I really appreciate all your time that you spent on this channel, so many thanks from me to you. As always, I'm really open to all the comments, so if you feel like you have something to share or discuss, just feel free to reach out in the comments. Let's just have a talk now. And yeah, stay safe and I hope to see you in the next video as always. Bye bye. Number 2, vacancy-related hard skills. Come on, блин.